Monark is an upcoming tactical JRPG published by NIS America and developed by Feburary Corporation, known for their obscure and interesting video games. The game is most notable for having developers who have previously worked on the Shin Megami Tensei games, and a lot of fans are interested, is this a Persona or an SMT game of any sort or kind? First off, I'd like to thank NIS America for receiving a pre-release copy of the game, which I have been thoroughly enjoying for the last 35 hours and plan to spend many, many more hours with this wonderful adventure. The game releases officially on February 22nd, 2022 in North America, February 25th, 2022 in Europe, and March 4th, 2022 in Australia and New Zealand. The game offers 2 audio choices in both Japanese and English and has just English text unless you buy the Japanese copy, which had previously come out last October. You can find demos for the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, and the Nintendo Switch now, and the game will be offered for PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC upon release. You can pre-order the game digitally in their respective stores, and for the PC on Steam. The first thing I think most people want to know about is Monark Shin Megami Tensei or Persona? The answer to both those questions is no. It does, however, fall a lot closer to what you find in the Shin Megami Tensei game series, with a very dark atmosphere, and the only connections to any Persona-related concepts would be that it takes place with children in a school. However, the Shin Megami Tensei has also covered that extensively as well. The game focuses very heavily on a very interesting and dark atmosphere that reminds me, for the most part, of traditional J-horror elements that you find. The story starts off with a boy waking up in a school, not having any memories of where he's at or where he's from, and meeting a group of students, teachers, and even his sister, who he has no recollection of. You quickly find out that peril has taken over the school, and soon after that learn that students harnessing the power of 7 deadly sins are corrupting the atmosphere, creating a globe around the school and not allowing anyone to leave, and oftentimes creating horrific events around the school. Initially, the game is fairly text-heavy, but eventually it opens up quite a bit and almost immediately shows how this game is more of a game about challenge than anything else. The battles in this game can oftentimes be absolutely brutal. If you played the demo, you only got the smallest taste of it, because as you continue through the game, your challenges will increase drastically. The game does offer a casual mode, however I would say that this mode is almost anything but casual. Even with this turned on, you will get absolutely wrecked, even after you spend hours upon hours of grinding in the game. Speaking of grinding, there are no random battles in this game whatsoever, and instead you have to rely on collecting certain bits of information littered around the school, which offer phone numbers. You can call these phone numbers to access specialized areas, some of which are tailored completely for grinding. You'll call these phone numbers and you'll repeat a battle over and over and over again until you gain what's required to level up, known as Spirit Stones. The Spirit Stones are used to increase the skills that you currently own, as well as develop brand new skills. And there's always a balance between finding a new powerful skill and taking an old skill and making it more powerful to utilize within battle for success. Along with your main characters, you will also have specialized creatures that you can utilize within battle, which can be equipped and customized fully, including naming and choosing their voice. You have a limited number of minions which you can access, and more are gained as you continue through the story. As of this time, I have not beat the game yet. I have only played it for 35 hours, I believe 20 of which has been me grinding to complete the harder challenges for the main story missions. If you don't like grinding, this game is absolutely not for you. The main characters do not have weapons or items at all, but instead use a system known as a Magigear. I know many of you probably won't like this system, but personally I thought it was kind of cool. As you continue to level up your skills, certain skills will unlock new, more powerful Magigear for your characters, which will present themselves in a lot cooler stylings of your characters. So as you grow and you become much more powerful, your character also looks more powerful as well. Similar to games in Shin Megami Tensei, the game also features multiple endings and paths which you can choose. For the first 20 or 30 hours in the game, you will follow one singular path, and the game will make it very, very clear when you can choose other options. At that point, you can save if you'd like to, and choose the option that you'd like to continue to go through and complete the rest of the game with that path, loading the save back to play through the other routes without having to complete the initial 30 hours again. The initial part of the game falls on a repeating gameplay loop. Your character will start off in a home section, talk to some characters, and then explore a building on campus. Initially, you're locked into the first building, but soon you'll be able to access more of the campus and meet new buildings and new characters to join your party as you find out the new challenges and problems that are happening on campus. After you beat every major challenge, you'll generally meet the dean, who will give you hints on the larger overarching story that's going on, but she doesn't ever spell anything out, and there's a ton of mystery as you continue through your path. Once you've completed a major challenge, you'll then return back to your homeroom and start the process over again with another building and another short story that involves it. While the game doesn't have a large overarching story that's finely connected through every single detail, the game does offer a lot of really interesting stories and dives into the personal characteristics of the characters in this world, which I thought was done pretty fantastically, and the experiences are very interesting, seeing how different people would use their powers differently. Overall, I would rate this game personally an 8 out of 10. I've been really addicted to the gameplay, even though it's a lot of loops and repeating grinding, but there's just something about building and developing your characters over time that speaks to me. In a way, it reminds me of cultivating Demi again, where you start off so weak and you eventually watch your character grow into an absolute powerhouse as you overcome more difficult and difficult challenges. Again, I would not suggest this game for anyone who hates grinding, as a majority of the game is grinding and repeating battles over and over and over again, defining your tactics, skills, and abilities, and making your character look more badass as time goes on. If you don't know how you'd feel about the game, I highly suggest picking up the demo first and playing through it, as it covers the main gameplay loop that you'll be going through for the first 30 hours of the game, minus the grinding. I would also suggest, if you're not well versed with tactical RPGs like myself, to start off on casual mode, as not enabling it can be absolutely crushing at times. Throughout the week, I'll be continuing to play the game and even doing some live streams, so if you guys like this content, remember to hit the thumbs up. If you guys like anime news, reviews, and gaming, feel free to subscribe to Yokoso Otaku. If you have any questions about the game, feel free to leave them below. I'd love to chat more about the game and answer any questions that anyone has. Look forward to my full review coming later this week, and the release of the game in the US coming out on the 22nd.